Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. So this must be the eighth week into the Rains Retreat. Just the final month to go. So either you have a major breakthrough, or you go crazy. One of the two. This is when things starts to heat up. And some of you know that I just came from a long 1 month retreat, silence retreat, in my kuti mostly. Yep. So no, it's been a while since I had a long retreat, so it's probably quite nice. Thank you to everybody for keeping the monastery together. It's mostly there, I think. No major mishaps. And it's great to know that things can go on without me. So I can go fade away, go somewhere, retire for the next year, and not have to worry about it. And it's nice. Like obviously, I'm quite happy to be the senior monk, to help manage it, guide it. But it's also very nice just to be able to step back and see that the whole process, has its own energy. Things continue on their own. And that eventually, we're all gonna fade away. And yet, this system, this structure laid out by the Buddha, the sasana, the teaching, the community goes on, functions on into the future, generating goodness, generating wholesome states. Yeah, so it's good to we're just little cogs in this huge infrastructure, and but it is an infrastructure, a system, a flow of goodness that continues into the future. And eventually, sometimes it's interesting to reflect when we're on my retreat, that the way of the world is to exist, to be somebody, to leave a lasting impression. I want to leave my legacy, big buildings or big things that people don't remember me by. But the way of the Dhamma is just to fade away, to non-existent, to go away, and not leave anything behind. And it's one of the beautiful sayings that the Buddha left behind, the enlightened ones do not leave a trace. They go through life, it's like a bird through space, not leaving anything behind, just emptiness. And this where you have this weird paradox where, people, enlightened beings, the Buddha, the great Arahants. It's always nice during the retreat as well. I get to read the great disciples of the Buddha. Yeah, I do that every year. But I guess you get older, you forget a lot. So it's like, oh, this is really interesting. Sariputta did that again. Oh, yeah, he's a really nice guy. Yeah, so we're Sariputta, Kassapa, the usual, the favorites. And you see just how, good inspirations their life and their practice was. And it continues to this day. And great enlightened beings like Ajahn, Buddha, even though they strive and they incline towards emptiness, there's not leaving anything behind. The effect they have, that's the paradox, is immeasurable. Ajahn Chah, like 1 million people showed up to his funeral. because he left such an impression behind, an impression of goodness, of kindness, of gentleness, of clarity, and people remember that. That makes an impression. So well, it's interesting that when you strive to let go of everything, when you go towards this emptiness, it leaves a major impression of goodness, of kindness behind, and where you can see that we're still the beneficiaries of that, of Ajahn Chah's legacy, really. Every day when I see the people bringing the food, and I always remember that teaching of Ajahn Chah Sarals, they come and offer these, not because, a little bit maybe, because of their connection with us, but mostly because of the legacy of the Buddha, the legacy of Ajahn Chah, the faith in Buddhism, the faith in Ajahn Chah, that they come and support the monastery, to support the community that's practicing here. When they see each and every one of us, we're a reminder for them that there is a seed of enlightenment in each and every one of us. Yes, most people are still work in progress, but there's still the Buddha nature, there's still the seed of enlightenment, seed of Dhamma that is buried within it. And of each and every one of us, our work is to realize that inner truth, realize the deep Dhamma of peace and stillness. And that's what keeps the whole place going. It's the aspiration towards this. It starts out with, simplicity. Starts out with kindness and gentleness. And just, it is a gradual path of wearing away our defilements, our craving, of wearing away the delusion and the defilements of the mind. It's like another great simile that the Buddha gave. It's like when you have a leather strapping and it's tied in the sun. The sun wears away. You can't see. Every day you look at it, it looks about the same. Nothing's happening. But it's wearing away, the weather's wearing away, the sun's wearing away. One day it will snap slowly. But you can't, whenever you look at it, you can't really see much change over time. But over time, you'll see that there is a wearing away. So sometimes our practice is like that. You keep looking at yourself like, I still have the same person. I still have greed. I still get sleepiness. I still get so angry at everything around me. I'll never finish. I'm always going to be like this. And that sometimes we might feel like that. But I'm here to tell you it isn't. It's just our delusion talking, our defilement talking, that there is things happening. But on, a gradual level. And sometimes we live in a world that wants instant result. Press a button, you get your thing. Press your button on your phone, you get food right away. People come and offer Uber food, Uber Eats, right away. 15 minutes, you're late, you don't have to pay them. or something like that. But it's not like that, obviously, with the Dhamma practice. It is very gradual. It takes years and years for things to really change. And, you read the biographies of the enlightened monks, the biographies of the disciples of the Buddha, Sariputta, met the Buddha many, many hundreds of lifetimes. He's doing this for, thousands and thousands of rebirths. Billions, he made his aspiration to be Sariputta, I don't know, a couple of billions years back when he met the other Buddha, who only arrived after about, 15 billion years. And then on this present time, because of all the spiritual qualities that he did over those successive lifetimes, cultivating virtues, cultivating kindness, cultivating stillness, cultivating wisdom, that he became the Sariputta in this lifetime. Even then, it didn't come naturally. There's still struggle. There's still work to have to be done. So it gives us a perspective of why it's good to aspire in this path. It does take a long, long time. It takes an immense level of patience. It takes, but what keeps you going is just faith. Faith in the process that is working. Faith in yourself, that you have what it takes. You look at the Buddha, yes, he's very inspiring. Sariputta is very inspiring. But basically, he's also human. He's got 2 legs, you got 2 legs. He's got 2 arms, you got 2 arms. He's got a mind and a body. Yeah, that's it. He's been doing it for a long, long time. So taking that, we don't give up when things are rough. We don't give up when we get bored or disappointed or irritated. We just continue walking the path each and every day and put into the practice of the Buddha, of the teaching of the Buddha, teaching of kindness, teaching simplicity, teaching in wisdom, of seeing clearly, having faith in our own wisdom to deal with the different issues of life that comes up. I always expect to tell people, we live in the human realm. Things aren't perfect. Australia is pretty good. New South Wales, why isn't Australia definitely up there in terms of a perfect place to be? But certainly not perfect. Certainly not perfect. There are things that's always going wrong. Sometimes you get annoyed with different people coming in or whatever. Sometimes you had a bad day. Some people, you get along better. Other people seem to stir up your defilements, your cravings more. But that's just the nature of life. Life is like that. Life is, sometimes things turn out the way you like, sometimes they don't. You get sick. You go on retreat and you think, oh, it's perfect, and the body starts to collapse. You get some kind of weird allergic reaction or something. It's like, oh, can't sit for a couple of days. That's okay. So much of the practice is about aware, accepting the present moment, then dealing with whatever wisdom, knowledge, skills you have. And you do have the tools to work it out. That's the beauty of the Dhamma. I find the beauty of the teaching of the Buddha is that we are our own savior. Buddha is inspiring, but you still have to solve your own problem. He's not going to go down. He's not sitting, floating around the space, coming down to save you. That's what some people think. Say, Buddha, 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 no, he comes down and saves me. No, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. You've got to solve your own problem. You've got to use the wisdom, use the patience. And so much of the problems, quote unquote, we face in life, we think it is somehow an obstacle to our happiness, an obstacle to our peace, but it isn't. So much of life is there to teach us. So instead of looking at when things go wrong as a problem, it isn't. It is an opportunity to adapt, to learn, to do things a different way, to work with things. So how does it work? The roof collapses. Well, how do we fix it? It's not the end of the world. So saying, oh, why this shouldn't happen? Why this happen? It shouldn't happen like this. Well, it's already here. So how do we fix it? How do we solve this problem? So look at life as not like things that are obstacles to your happiness, but an opportunity to learn and grow, an opportunity to learn to adapt, using the Dhamma that you've learned already, and you've all know so much Dhamma already. It's not that you need to know more Dhamma, it's need to apply it to life. Ask yourself, how can I apply? How can I make this work? And I know this, in the practice, it's like I said, being on retreat is super nice. It's nice to be with people, but it's also nice to withdraw back to your own world, just to your simplicity of being by yourself, being your own friend, and not having to relate from a certain position or certain identity, but you're just a body and a mind, just another creature in the forest, going about your day. And thank you for everybody. And again, it's a beautiful opportunity. Spring is here, beautiful flowers coming out, walking the bush, amazing. And it doesn't get old. Every time the yellow flowers come out, it's like, wow, these are beautiful flowers. and the watermelons, I don't know what their names are, but the yellow and the red ones, and then you have purple ones. It's just, life is like that. There is beauty, there is happiness, if you pay attention to them. There's also sadness, there's also desperation, there's also irritation as well. But if that's all you look at, then that's where your mind will tend toward. So much of the practice I encourage people is always, be aware of what your mental state is. It's also part of right effort that Luang Por teaches. Right effort is the effort to cultivate wholesome states, to generate a unrisen wholesome state, to make it arise, to maintain it, to make much of it. But also to pay attention to unwholesome states. Make sure it doesn't arise. Make sure arisen unwholesome states don't arise, don't stay. And just to be aware, where's my mind? Is it going in the right direction, in the wholesome, or is it going the other direction? Just steer it. How can I learn to incline the mind towards wholesome states? Sometimes it just takes patience, endurance just to be with it, and it passes on its own. And the main thing is, we all have the tools already inside of us. It's just the faith, the confidence, and the patience to use these tools in everyday life to solve the problems that arise in our life. And always, like I said, problems always quote unquote. They're only problems if we want something else, right? Rain is only a problem if you don't want it to rain. Otherwise, rain isn't a problem. A lot of times in Australia, rain is good. You want the rain. But if you wanted to go outside and do other things, then it's a problem. So sometimes we think it's a problem, but it isn't. It's only because of our expectations, of our wants, our craving. We want certain things. Then we say it's a problem, but it isn't. It's just things arising and passing away. Things we like, we're like, oh, it's great. We don't call it a problem. Things we don't like arising in our existence, that's a problem. No, it's not a problem. It's just things arising, passing away. All on their own. Our job is to adapt to that, to lessen the stress and suffering in our life, hopefully to lessen the stress and suffering to other people's lives as well, as we go on this journey of cultivating wholesome states, of cultivating the sublime Dhamma, of peace and stillness, simplicity, of non-attachment, of fading away into nothingness. So be a person when you walk into the room, quietly pass through, not pounding away, boom, 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 boom. Understand? Not slamming the doors. You clean quietly. Nobody knows you're there. No one knows you're gone. But you leave a trace of stillness. Leave a trace of goodness behind you. And then you have to start somewhere. So if there's a trace, you leave something that's positive. But eventually, it's all emptiness. Fade away. It's wonderful. 100 years from now, hopefully the buildings will be here. No one remember who was here before us. We're all faded away. We're all dead 100 years from now, I think. No matter how well science is going, we'll still be dead. No matter what nutrition you're taking, how many yoga classes you're going to, you'll still be dead. But it's nice to fade away. The bush is still here. Flowers still blooming. Goanna still running around. All fade away. Fade away into emptiness of goodness. And this monastery will still be here, generating goodness into the future, allowing other people to come, experience peace and stillness, experience gentleness, experience a place of kindness. And that's the beauty of the training is, it goes beyond personality. You don't have to like people to be nice to people. You don't have to, be your best friends, but you have to be kind, to be supportive, to look after each other. Because when you understand the Dhamma, when you train the Dhamma, you understand that we're all basically the same thing. Whether they're your family or strangers. We all have bodies and mind. We all suffers. But we all want to be free from suffering. We all want peace and stillness. So knowing that, you learn to, compassion arises naturally. You learn to find ways to lessen sufferings in the people around us. We help what we can. Sometimes their suffering is beyond our control. That's still okay. All we can do is offer our support, our company, offer an ear just to listen. Sometimes we can't do anything about it. People who have, as a senior monks, we get lots of people who come and they say they have this kind of illness. There's nothing we can do, but we can listen, be there, offer our attention and support. And sometimes that's all you need to do, really. Sometimes in life, especially we live in this world where, it celebrates longevity. If you get sick, you're dying, something's wrong. From a Buddhist perspective, it's not whether or how long you live. It's not whether you live or you die even. But how are you living? Are you living with clarity? Are you living, generating wholesome states, generating good karma? Or are you living like, sometimes life in the world can be like very animalistic. Can I eat this? Or can I copulate with it? Sometimes world people are caught up in that. Just eating, feeding their own sense pleasure. Is it going to be more pleasure? Are you're my friend and you make me happy? You make me happy, you're my friend. You don't make me happy, you're not my friend. And we're just looking, instant gratification for people around us and all the situation around us. It can be very short-sighted, and it leads to, because of the chase of happiness, people do silly things, cheat and lie and hurt each other without thinking. But hopefully, a student of the Dhamma, a student of the Buddha, we lead a life that brings peace and kindness, brings stillness, brings clarity. There's a positive effect around the people with us. And that is, going back, the legacy of the Buddha, that he generated all this 2,600 years ago. And is still alive and well and strong in Wiseman's Ferry, all over the world, in Thailand, everywhere around us. There's people practicing, there's people inclining towards peace, towards kindness, each and every day. This day coming up, the retreats, this beautiful group of people bringing out beautiful food to us. We don't really know them that well. They come once a year, and they're so generous, so kind. Just cooking and traveling all this, hours and hours to come, and then they leave. And that is, that's due to the faith and trust, inspiration in the Buddha. So coming back to the here and now, to the practice of one more month left. Hopefully we just continue using the Dhamma that we have, that we've learned. Sutta class ended, so hopefully you have everything already. You've done all the Dhamma. By next Tuesday, you've learned everything already about peace and kindness and enlightenment. And then you put it into practice the last 3 days, the last 3 weeks. Hopefully you end suffering in this rains retreat. If not, there's always next rains retreat. But may we not give up this path. May we continue pursuing the path of peace, kindness, path of clarity and wisdom each and every day. Not just for ourselves, but for the welfare and happiness of all beings. Because remember, people have to live with this, they have to put up with this. So the more enlightened you are, the more kind you are, the more benefit, the more thoughtful we are, more mindful we are, then we are add to the beauty of the Dhamma. So I offer that with your reflection tonight. Okay, we'll bow together and then people can take a break, have a rest, come back or not. See. Arahanga Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakata Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipanna Bhagavato Asavaka Sangho Namami.